So today we're in Manchester at the University of Salford, and we're here today to find out if students do struggle financially with money and what they spend their money on, or what they should be spending their money on. I'm a student at University of Salford currently, and I'm looking to see if I can get an interview to do with finance with students, and if you can bring me back on 07913 003 216, thank you very much. So we tried to get an interview with someone at the University of Salford, but they told us to go to the Humphrey House and try and get an interview there with a student finance member. Sadly, no answer. So whilst you was in University of Salford,
Yes.
did you struggle financially with money, or did you not?
Well, to be honest, at the beginning I did, because as I said, I did not know how to manage myself properly, because it was my first time living by myself, away from my parents.
Yeah.
So I should actually say that I was an experience and it was a struggle at the beginning.
Yeah. Some students may not want to answer this question,
I saw that.
but what did you spend your money on, or what should you spend your money on?
I did travel a lot.
Did you?
I did go out a lot. I remember my first week was a mess, completely mess, an absolute mess. I spent a lot of money. I'm not gonna say figures because I don't wanna scare anyone.
Undisclosed.
But I regret now. But secondly, I did not make them same mistakes.
Have you any advice from students who may need this advice in the future for what they should spend their money on and what they shouldn't spend their money on?
Well, I should say that they should invest on things that will make them improve in terms of the mind, like spending money on books, and not to go out that much.
Right.
Because it's not really worth it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
5% of students in the United Kingdom who go to universities earn a lot less than other students due to their parents' income. For this, we went to the University of Salford to interview some students. Okay, so it's been about 2 days now. We haven't had a call back from the Humphrey Booth House. We're going to go into the campus now for the University of Salford to speak to some higher education students and ask them what they feel about this whole sort of money and the student finance, and see what they think about the whole situation, because some students, you know, may think it's okay, but we'll have to see what they say. Okay. So, do you feel that you struggle with money financially whilst you're actually in university, or do you feel that you can cope with it?
I feel like because I'm in university 3 times a week, I can't work as much as I have to be working to be able to afford rent, food, and things like that I want to do, because a lot of the money that I get from student finance, all the money that I get from student finance goes on rent. So I have to earn money for food, and if I want to do anything else, or I have to save money from just working. But because I'm in uni 3 times a week, I'm only able to work 1 or 2 days a week if I want to balance my life. So I would say that sometimes, a lot of the times I do struggle with financially, yeah.
So take that into consideration as well. What do you think, what do you spend your money actually on besides from like the essentials and your rent?
Well, I have to, because my student finance goes on rent and my like TV, Wi-Fi, electric bill isn't included, I have to pay that as well, and then just basic things like food, transport to get into uni, to get into places, and then the odd time maybe just spending it to go out with my friends and stuff like that. I don't really spend it on things that I don't need. Like I wouldn't go out to spend like £400 on trainers. Like everything I spend my money on, I do. Well, it's kind of necessary.
So take that into consideration then. So do you think that what the money that they give you is an appropriate amount, or do you think it should be hired a bit up for some students who think that they are less fortunate than others?
I think it's appropriate, because if you give too much, then it kind of like people like me, like students, they won't want to like put their own time into working, because they'll have the money there, which will make them lazier, and it'll make people want to go to university just to get the actual money rather than going in it for the education or for the degree that you went into to get.
Okay, so we've got a great interview then. and we've been able to get ourselves in touch with a student from the University of Salford who actually lives in accommodation. Even though the interview with that student in the University of Salford was very good, I do feel like this will be more accurate getting an inside interview with someone in the accommodation. Hi, is Tobias joining there, please? With 80% of the students living in accommodation whilst in university, we managed to get an interview with a nearby student called Toby to see how he felt about this whole situation with the money. So do you feel you struggle as a student with financing while you're in university?
Yes, I do.
And why do you think that is then?
They just don't. So I just don't get as much money as I should get. You know, as I feel I should get. I get a very limited amount, which then once I've finished paying for this room, I don't have much left over to buy food and stuff like that to keep me going for 4 months.
So on average, how much is it to actually get this accommodation then?
It's £92 a week.
Right.
For me, so I have to pay it in a big instalment, so it costs me about £1,000 every so often. And
how much of that money comes out of the actual student loan from the maintenance and the finance?
So if I'm getting a £5,000 loan,
Yeah.
they're taking about 3.5.
Right.
And that might seem like I've got
Yeah.
1.5 left over, but it's taken out in instalments.
Yeah.
So they'll take out a certain amount, and I'll only have about 300 left to last me 3 months. That's
Yeah.
like £100 a month,
Mm.
which isn't very ideal for a student.
Yeah.
So
on that case, do you feel that it's a bit tight on how much to give you, or do you think it's an appropriate amount?
I think the whole system's very unfair, considering that both my roommates,
Yeah.
because their parents divorced, they both get 8,000. Well,
Yeah.
because my parents are together, I
Mhm.
only get 5,000.
Yeah.
And same with some people I know. Considering that a girl I know, her dad was earning £50,000 a year.
Yeah.
But that means he's paying more tax overall. But she was getting a £3,000 loan, and she was living in London.
Right.
And she couldn't even afford her rent, let
Yeah.
alone food and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's a very unfair system the way they do it, to be truthful.
And do you think it's unfair that the fact that they're thinking of changing the laws as well to reduce how much students are getting?
I think it really just depends, all things considering, you know, if we're getting less but they make charging us less,
Yeah.
then that should be fine. But if they're going to give us less and then charge us like double what we're doing now,
Yeah.
it would be very ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Right, thank you very much. Okay, so what I've gathered from that now is that from what Toby's told me about the whole accommodation and all the university, is that although the university do give you, the student finance however give you a lot of money, or it seems to be a lot of money does go into these accommodation apartments. But it turns out 3.5 grand of that goes onto these, which leaves him with what, 2.5, which, you know, isn't a lot for a student. Especially when you've got to pay for bus passes, you've got to pay for your food, your rent. So, is the real answer they're giving you less money for living far away? Because he lives somewhere in Luton, and he's got to travel up here to Manchester, which is a far distance. I do think, and from what he said and what I've gathered, is that they don't give you enough money to actually last. And that's what I've gathered.